Strat-O-Matic Excel Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Troller. 1972 to 1975.
Game 523, Colorado at Arizona.
Welcome back, baseball fans. The 1972-75 Carryover League. We continue in the race for the pennant in the National League, the postseason tournament in the Mountain Division, the wild, kooky division where 4 teams were separated by a half game, right at the 500 mark. Vegas started the tournament a half game ahead of the other 3. There was a development when the second place team, Portland, lost 4 out of 5. Let's go take a look at that as we do the calculation of what needs to happen today. So we go up top here to our division leads. And here it was. Portland only half a game back of Vegas. They lost 4 out of 5. Vegas is 4 over 500. Good for them. Portland, though, is 14 and 17. And I said, you can ride the elevator up to the top, or you can take it to the loading dock in the basement. And if you take it to the basement in the 4th place, your season's over. So Portland started this round in 2nd place, but now they're 3 under 500. So is it possible for both 3rd and 4th place teams to play a series where they both advance and Portland goes home? Well, I'll give you the spoiler, folks. Let's go up top here to the eliminations. Arizona and Colorado are sitting with records of 500, which means they're tied and they're 0 games back of each other. Colorado owns a tiebreaker over Arizona, but they have no practical way of using it because whoever wins the best of 7 would be a solid game ahead, and that's enough to be ahead of each other. That's how you get above and behind each other. We're just trying to determine who's better. But the other aspect is, could these 2 teams play a series and finish better than Portland? The answer is yes. Portland 3 games under 500. Arizona and Colorado. If they were to play a 6 or 7 game series, both teams would be either +2, +1, -1, -2. Either team. And those records would all exceed the record of Portland, meaning that Portland gets eliminated. Then you have to look at what happens if it's a 4-1. If it's 4-1, that means that one of these teams would be 3 under, tie with Portland. And when we looked at that, Arizona already has a tiebreaker for Portland, so they can use that, and Arizona would advance, Portland be eliminated. Colorado loses a tiebreaker with Portland. So that is a way Portland could stay alive. The other way is if we have a 4-game sweep. If we have a 4-game sweep, one of these teams would be 4 under 500. They'd be done, and Portland advances. So just to recap, Portland is rooting for a 4-game sweep or Arizona winning the series 4-1. Those are the scenarios for Portland to stay alive. Let's take a look and see what's happened. Game 1, we open up in Colorado. Steve Stone for the visitors, Dick Drago for the home team. In this one, we have error by a shortstop, a triple sac fly. We have a Rick Monday homer. It's 2-1. But then in the 8th inning, they knock out Dick Drago in his bullpen. Walk, single, single. Colorado attempts a rally in the 9th that falls short. Arizona wins 6-2. Steve Stone gets a win, 8 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. A 6-2 victory for the visitors. Arizona is up 1-0. Good news for Portland. Game 2. Arizona, Colorado. Well, different story today. Jim Willoughby for Arizona. Sam McDowell, who's very wild, but we knew that, for Colorado. McDowell gives up a walk in the first, 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth, 1 in the seventh. He walked 7. Somehow, though, he dodged a minefield in this game, giving up just 3 single runs. With singles in there. No long balls, which hurt the Arizona. Rockies got an RBI single in the first. They get a Joe List homer in the third. They get a solo shot by the suddenly red-hot Andy Costco. A single and a 2-base error on Brock Davis. Another homer by Costco in the 5th. And then an RBI in the 8th inning. Sam McDowell, 7 in the 3rd. 7 hits, 3 runs, 7 walks, 5 strikeouts. Good enough to get the job done versus Jim Willoughby. Colorado wins 6-3, and right now that is a worst-case scenario for Portland. Neither team can sweep, which leaves only one path for Portland to advance. The series will move to Arizona for games 3, 4, and 5, and they would have to win. Arizona would have to win all 3 games and end the series in game 5. If Colorado just needs to win one more game, regardless of what happens head-to-head, both teams can advance. Arizona's already going to advance. Even if the Rockies come back and win the series, Arizona still advances. Colorado, we can't make that claim. They need one more win. Game 3 in Arizona. Joshua Tree. Ron Reed versus Reggie Cleveland. Again, you get some shaky defense in this that, causes the games to swing. You get a 2-base error right out of the gate off of Jim Lytle. Sac fly. But then Jim Lytle has a homer in this one. Bunch of singles in the 5th for the home team. We have a Rockies tying it up in the 7th. But in the bottom of the 7th, it comes unglued for Ron Reed. He gives up an error. Then he gives up a single. Then a 2-run homer by Hal Breeden. A homer by Dave May. 4-run inning off of Ron Reed. And Arizona wins 8-4. They take a 2-1 series lead. Now we go to game number 4. Colorado's still looking for one more win if they can get it. Hopefully 4 wins is what they're rooting for. Al Fitzmaurice versus Jeff Zahn. Early in this one, Colorado Rockies are really going to regret leaving men on. They seem to touch up Jeff Zahn nicely. Another Andy Costco homer. 3 singles, but they don't. They're 1 run on any scores. They get an error gift, a single, strand that. Walk double play, walk, strand that. Single walk, strand that. This is a 2-2 game, going into extra innings. The lines for the starters, Fitzmaurice, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. Zahn, 5 1/3, 6 hits, and 2 runs. Arizona goes 3 2/3 innings with their only right-handed reliever because the swing starter is pitching game 5. That's Dick Bainey. And Dick Bainey delivers 3 2/3 innings, 4 strikeouts, no hits or walks, but he's unavailable for game 5 if Arizona wins, which they do. Bottom of the 11th inning, Jim Merritt, the 3rd reliever. After a couple outs, it is a Ed Herman home run for Ed Herman off of the reliever, Jim Merritt. Actually, Bill Plummer hits the homer off of Jim Merritt here. Or no, it was, I put it in the wrong spot. Retman hits the homer off of Jim Merritt. I just put it in the wrong spot. There we go. Yeah, Retman came in, and they put Plummer in the Garcia spot. So that was a walk-off solo shot off the Jim Merritt card on the roll of 6-4. 3-2 is the final for Arizona, and they lead the series 3-1. So again, that's good news for Portland, as Colorado still needs to win 1 game. They're down 3-1 in this one. 10011 010 10 and 2/3 3727 3727 6926 2669. We're going to replug in that result just so I can credit the right. I had credited the wrong player with the homer, but it was Redmond. So I'm just going to fix that box really quickly here. You can do these fixes. You just cover up the previous boxes with the repair, and then you look at the overall, make sure you've got a reconciliation, and you have a reconciliation. So all that did was move the homer off of Ed Herman's card into Merv Redmond's. Okay, enough of that. We got a Game 5 today. For Colorado, it'll be the guy who started Game 1, Dick Drago, with Kansas City in 72. He had a 3.01 ERA in 239 innings. Susceptible to lefties and trouble keeping the ball in the park, something that all Colorado pitchers suffer. But Arizona has in a pitching quandary here. They're running out of pitchers. Bruce Del Canton, the swing starter, but a good one. That's what they're leaning on, that Del Canton is actually a qualified swingman. Most swingmen are lousy, but they have one of the better ones. He also was a Kansas City Royal. He was there in 74, 8-10, 3.14 ERA, and 175 innings. Starter 7. They're going to ask them to go at least 7. Arizona's bullpen, Gary Peters and Darryl Knowles, a couple lefties. Darryl Knowles is limited to an inning. Colorado Rockies, Eddie Watt is limited to an inning. But the rest of their bullpen is available. Dick Drago, Bruce Del Canton from Arizona. Game 5. Arizona wants to win the series, period. They'll give a crap about the tie-breaking thing. If they can win this thing 4-1, they would be a half game behind Vegas, still trying to win the division. The longer Colorado sticks around, the less chance Arizona has to hopefully win the division. Rockies are facing elimination for at least one, for only one game, but this is the game. You lose this one, your season's over. You win this one, then you can screw around for the next couple. Leading off for Colorado is Joe Liss. 68, flies to left. Terry Crowley, 39, lines a short. Rick Auerbach, 33, grounds to third. Stevie Ray Braun, 66, double 1 and 2, base hit. John Knox, what a great baseball name. 1-6 is a base hit to left field. Braun, a 14, he'll try and go coast to coast on the plus arm, get things going early, and he makes it there. Runners on the corners for Hal Breeden. 67, sac fly left field. The aggressive Arizona lead 1-0. One thing about this Arizona team, they get their hits in. They have a high batting average. And, they don't have a tremendous amount of power. They have terrible defense. Relief pitching is lousy. They have good starters. They haven't won this division in a long time, and this would be a nice year to break that spell. Dave May, 34, pitcher A. Let me just kind of breeze you through the batting averages. So Steve Braun, 302. John Knox, 307. Hal Breeden, 275. Dave May, 303. Brock Davis, 318. Mike Vail, 302. Ed Herman, 249. Fred Stanley, 200. Pedro Garcia, 245. So the top 6 guys all hit 300 or better, except for Breeden, who hits with a ton of power. That's damn good offense for an expansion team. Rockies they have pretty much homers and walks, and that is about it. No defense, and all their pitching is shaky. As we go to the second inning, it'll be Don Money. 3-6 is a walk. B. Steeler, but Ed Herman's got a nice throwing arm. Rick Monday. 47 is a walk. Dave Kingman. 67 is a K. One thing Arizona cannot afford is an implosion by Del Canton where he hits the point of weakness early and has to come out of the game. Because that would use your relievers here, and you still have to play a game 6 and 7. So your bullpen would be a mess. So they really need Del Canton to pitch very good today. Jim Lytle, 411, left X. And here's the outfield defense. Both teams, it's pretty bad. Vale's a 40-13 in left field. Buddy makes the catch. Big break. Big break there. And with 2 outs, it's Andy Etchebarren. 2-3 grounds the third. Bottom of the second inning, Brock Davis leads off, 46, with a base hit. Mike Vale, 48 is a K. Ed Herman, 412, center. And Fred Stanley, 310, flies to right. Third inning, it's Jim Mason, 39 is a single. Joe Liss, 212, fielder's choice. Terry Crowley, 210, is a base hit to left field. Runners at first and second for Rick Auerbach. 57's a K, and with 2 outs, it's Don Money who walked earlier. Don Money, 1-9, base hit in the center field. Do you want to run Mason? Actually, it's not Mason, it's Liss from second. 11, 12, 13. Center fielder's got a -2 arm, makes it 11. They're going to let Rick Monday bat. The chance of a extra base hit, 4 runs instead of 1 run, plus reasonable chance of walking with the bases loaded. Monday will swing away. 56 off of Del Canton is a single to center, scoring that run. Liss. Crowley was at second. He's a decent runner, isn't he? 10. He's worse. 11, 12. Now they're going to just keep going station to station here. Bases loaded. Crowley at third, Money at second, and Monday at first for Dave Kingman. This team, you got to go for the... And one of the things why you don't run is that this is a team that wants you to turn the Strat-O-Matic cards over and force your opponent to get you out 27 times. So don't recklessly run the bases or steal bases or tag up and do things like that. Just force you to get you out 27 times. Bases loaded, and the batter's Dave Kingman. 2-9 for Kingman is a K. If he was left-handed, it'd be a walk, but it's not. Stays 1-1. Arizona's the opposite. They'll go coast to coast. They have all sorts of singles hitters in their team. They can't sit around for the 3-run homer. Pedro Garcia Lorca, 110's a single. Stevie Ray Braun, 62, second X. Your second baseman today is Rick Auerbach, a 40-39. That's a single, dot. Ugh. The defense will just make you shudder. Runners on the corners. They'll play back for John Knox. 2-8 is a 6-4-3 double play. That worked, but a run scores. It's 2-1. Hal Breeden, 37, is a triple. Well, that's interesting because there's nobody on base anymore. Dave May, 56, and that's a double off the Drago card, and it's getting away from Colorado here, 3-1. Brock Davis, 1-5, another single single to right field. And he will run off the right fielder. Lytle, -1 arm for Dave May. May is a 16. He will score on a 12. Mike Vale, 38's a strikeout. But it is 4-1 for the home team. We go to the fourth. Jim Lytle. I mean, if the Rockies don't hit a home run, they're probably not going to win a game. That's sort of how it goes. Jim Lytle, 35 is a walk. Etchebarren, you got to put a homer behind it, though. 3-11, fielder's choice. Mason, and you have to stay out of double plays as well. Jim Mason, 57's a K. And with 2 outs, back up top, it's Joe Liss. 47 is a walk. Too many walks for Del Canton could be terrible. It could be a 3-run dinger right here. Terry Crowley. 1-4 right on cue. Let's take a look at the Terry Crowley card. Somewhere, Earl Weaver is watching and smiling. Terry Crowley was a pinch hitter for Baltimore all throughout the 70s, early 80s. 72 for the Orioles, 11 homers and 247 at-bats. That's a lot of playing time as a pinch hitter. He probably played a lot because their offense stunk so much. So they let him play regularly instead of using him as a pinch hitter. 2 walks and a 3-run homer. We got a tie game. The old Earl Weaver Baltimore strategy. Pitching, defense, and a 3-run homer. Well, for Colorado, it's 0-0 and a 3-run homer. It'll be Rick Auerbach with 2 outs. 69, flies to center field. Bottom of the 4th, Ed Herman. 35, right. Chicken Stanley, 5'11". Pitcher X, Drago, it's an E12. 2, E12, makes the play. And Pedro Garcia Lorca, 34, flies to left. The Rockies are tied with Arizona. Rockies have actually sent 3 more men to the plate. Top of the 5th. Don Money, he's been on twice, 310. Left. Rick Monday, 2-8, base hit center field. Dave Kingman, 32, strikeout plus injury. They lost their first baseman. They'll put Crowley at first base, and they'll put Andy Costco in the outfield. Yeah. He'll go into left field. Lytle will stay in right field in that spot in the lineup. And with 2 outs, it's Jim Lytle. 54 off the Del Canton card. Here's your big break here. Triple 1 of 5, double the rest. It's double the rest. Now, Monday's a great base runner. He'll try and score from first on a double, and he does on a 2. And it's 5-4 Colorado. Etchebarren, 1-8. Let's take a look at the Andy Etchebarren card of 1975. Another Oriole. Rockies get their players from all over, but they got a couple Orioles in this inning, in this game that we've seen. 1-8 for Etchebarren, a 267 hitter for the Angels in 75. Homer 1-12, fly ball the rest, and that is fly ball the rest. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
All right. Colorado had a chance to blow it open. They got a run. They've got 5-4 lead. They've been getting to Del Canton. Haven't hit his point of weakness. He's a starter 7. Hasn't put that many men on, though it's not a very good start. 5-4, Dick Drago has a lead. It's Stevie Ray Braun. 1-9 rolls to first. John Knox, 53, pitcher. And Hal Breeden, 34, grounds to short. We go to the 6th. Del Canton will watch him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 men on base through 5 innings. Ugh, not very good line at all. Jim Mason, 37's a K. Back up top to Joe Liss, 1-7, base hit. Terry Crowley with a big blast, 1-9 is single 1-12, lines out on the 13. And with 2 outs, it's Rick Auerbach. 45, flies to right. Del Canton rights the ship. He'll last till at least the 7th. Bottom of the 6th, it's Dick Drago versus Dave May. 5-10, catcher's X. Etchebarren's an E9 catcher. Makes the play. Colorado's not even a team that can really bring in defense, really. They already have Costco as E0 outfitter they brought in, which is nice. Gagliano's a 4 everywhere. Duncan's a -2 arm, but Arizona's not a threat to steal. Brock Davis, 312, Lomax. And Mike Vail, 1-9, base hit. Tyron at first for easy Ed Herman. 47, base hit, ... Runners in the corners for Fred Stanley. 49, single 1, line out to short, and he lines out on a 3. 5-4 game into the 7th. Del Canton needs to get through this inning, help his team out. It's Don Money. 4-11, first X. Breeden, 4-14, first base. That's a base hit. Oh boy. Rick Monday, 5-10, catcher's X. Herman's a 3-12. That's a pass ball. Runner goes to second with 1 out for the dangerous Andy Costco. 34, flies to left. And with 2 outs, Jim Lytle. 4-4. Left field B. Del Canton. Nice recovery here. Put guys on, but got out of it. 7 in the books. Stretch time. Good baseball game. Some offense. Swings of the pitching. Good and bad. Back and forth kind of game. 5-4 fair here in Joshua Tree. We are enjoying, of course, it's Hot Burritos. And it's an anthology of all the stuff from 69 to 72 with Graham and Hillman and all those guys. We got Graham doing the Keith gave him this one to do. You know, Keith and Graham hanging out together in France, I believe. And he said, hey, you want wild horses? I'll give you wild horses. There it is. Couldn't drag me away, folks. No, they couldn't. Those wild horses couldn't drag me away. Thanks, Graham. Too young. Too damn young, folks. Too damn young. Bottom of the 7th inning. Dick Drago is a starter 7. He is their ace. They have 3 more innings to go. Eddie Watt can only go an inning because he was put into extra duty yesterday. The rest of the bullpen is spotty, as you can imagine. They really want to ride Drago. Hopefully the left-handed batters of Arizona don't hurt him too much because he's very weak against lefties. It's Pedro Garcia Lorca leading off. 42, pitcher. Back up top to Stevie Ray Braun, the lone all-star representative of Arizona this year. 2-11, rolls to first. And with 2 outs, John Knox. 1-3, grounds to second base. Drago, he's a starter 8, and a 3 up and down 7th. We go to the 8th. Del Canton has never gone this far, and he's being asked to go because the lefty relievers are kind of meh. Yeah. Plus, Knowles only has 1 inning of relief left to close. Gary Peters is it today. So it'll be, if the Diamondbacks could come back and take a lead in the 8th, Daryl Knowles would pitch the 9th. And if it goes extras after that, then they go to Gary Peters. So that's what they're hoping for. So Del Canton will continue here and face Andy Etchebarren. 48 is a walk. That's a lot of them today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 walks. Etchebarren 9 runner. It's Jim Mason. 69, Sky's the center. Back up top to Joe Liss. 43, pitcher X. Del Canton, can you field your position? He's an E8. Very good fielding pitcher. That's a double play. A huge fielding gem by the starter, Bruce Del Canton. And somewhere, Portland's watching on TV going, yes. All right, come back, guys. That's what they're rooting for. Bottom of the 8th. Dick Drago. Breeden. Then May and Brock could be trouble. Probably won't face Ed Herman. We'll see how that goes. But Hal Breeden will lead off. 47 off Drago is a strikeout. Now you got the lefties. Dave May. He has reached just once today. Just once. 2-6. Let's take a look at the Dave May card. He was a Milwaukee Brewer in 73. This is his best year. 303, 25 homers. Folks, 668 plate appearances. I think he came up with Baltimore. He played in the Baltimore farm system. Never did a whole lot. But then he bloomed with the Brewers in 73, but then he pittered out shortly thereafter. And besides, they had other outfielders coming up. Gorman Thomas, Lezcano, guys like that. 2-6 is 1-1 base hit. Your tie run is at first for the dangerous Brock Davis. 65 for Brock is short X, and this is where it'll kill Colorado. The lack of defense. Jim Mason, he's a 3 E29. It's the best they can give you. 3 E29. So ground ball C. Runner scoring position, not bad, and it comes down to Mike Vail. Let's take a look at Mike. Mike Vail was a Met, was a Cub, great pinch hitter. Arizona's, of course, making him an everyday player, as per norm. You know, Vail had several 300 seasons. A 302, I think he had a 335, a 333, a 298. I wonder what his career batting average was. Probably pretty close to, if I had to guess Mike Vail's career batting average, I'm going to say 289. It's a wild guess. Wild guess. Should I look it up? Maybe I'll look it up later. I'm just going to guess 289. How about that? Here's the pitch to Mike Vail. 1-8, Mike Vail. Here it is. It's a base hit into center field. He will run against the arm of Mr. Monday. 18 minus 1 is the running on a 17, and he scores. We got a tie game. Dick Drago can't believe it. And with 2 outs, he'll pitch to Ed Herman. 111, he pops to short. So Drago can still stick around in this. He's a starter 7, but he's only put 2 men on in the 8th. 5-5 game. What do you do now if you're Arizona? You got to be careful. You can't play a long extra inning game because you still have to win this series. If you lose a long extra inning game, then you're relying on complete games out of Reggie Cleveland and Jim Willoughby after that. So Del Canton will pitch the 9th because, frankly, that's all he can pitch is 9 innings. So he'll go out there for the 9th. And listen to this crowd in Arizona. They love the effort by their spot starter. He's put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 men sprinkled on. He's only had 1 3-up and 3-down inning. It was the first. This is the only game he's pitched in like a week, and he probably won't pitch again for another week at least. Plenty of time off as your swing starter. So Terry Crowley leads off the 9th. It was his blast that gave Colorado an early lead. Here's the pitch to Crowley. 49, second X, second baseman. This is Garcia, 327, second baseman, makes the play. Rick Auerbach. 410, pops to first, and with 2 outs, it's Don Money. 56 is a base hit. B. Steeler, do you try and get in the scoring position? Not against that arm, no. They're going to let Monday swing away here. 3-6! Rick Monday, let's check out the Rick Monday card. A 3-6. 20 home runs in 1974 for Rick Monday, and that's one of them. Oddly enough, it's a little bit like that Blue Monday homer he had in 81 for the Dodgers versus Montreal. That's a Blue Monday versus Portland, because they're the team that's hanging in the balance from this game. If this is the deciding moment, a 2-run homer with 2 outs and a man at first by Rick Monday, it is 7-5. Eddie Watt gets up in the Rado bullpen. He can only go an inning. Drago has a lefty and then a righty coming up. Before that, though, here is Andy Costco. 5-10 is a strikeout. So 9 innings, complete innings in the books for dejected Bruce Del Canton. He pitched his heart out for his team. They're still in good position, folks. Look, they're up 3-1, so shed no tears for Arizona presently. It is a 7-5 game. In the bottom of the 9th, Drago will come out to the 9th. We'll protect him from a loss. He puts a couple of guys on. We'll go through our bullpen. We can go lefty, righty if we need to. Can we help him out defensively? No, we cannot. Don't even try. There's nobody defensive to help Colorado. You have to live with their putrid defense. So leading off in the bottom of the 9th for Arizona will be Fred Stanley. 5-11, pitcher X. Drago, can you field your position? He's an E12 pitcher, a 2. And that's a single off a 2 pitcher. Oh my. Now your tie run is Pedro Garcia. Drago's good against righties, so we'll pitch to him. 47 is a K. And now the call to the bullpen, because you got lefty, lefty, righty, lefty, lefty. That's it for Drago. He goes 8 1/3, survives 8 1/3, we should say. He does give up 5 earned runs. And so it's not like these lefty relievers are lights out at all. I'm almost looking for the lefty who gives up fewer home runs. And the answer is none. They all give up home runs. It's a Colorado theme here. Strickland walks guys, though, and you already have a man on base. I'm going to go Jim Merritt. Unconventional move. We're going Jim Merritt instead of Strickland. The reason is Strickland walks guys. You just don't want to give up the tying run on base. Make them hit their way on. Jim Merritt will come in. He was actually a Texas Ranger in 73. He was 5-13 with a 4.05 ERA and 160 innings. Pretty good against lefties. Braun's not going anywhere. He's the everyday third baseman, but they'll have a pinch hitter for John Knox. Plus, you know, Dave May and Brock Davis aren't going anywhere. So, and again, Watt can only go an inning anyway. So they might just want to just postpone that and have Eddie Watt fresh for a game 6 and 7 if it goes that far. So Jim Merritt will come on in the 9th. Runner at first and 1 out. And we'll face Stevie Ray Braun. Braun, let's take a look at the Braun card. He doesn't have power against lefties either. Does have a homer chance. You see, he's a fun card to have. First, second, third, and the outfield. Full time, well, he's got 519 plate appearances with a 302 average and 75. After this year or the next year, he becomes a part-time player and pinch hitter. He goes all over baseball. He's on the Cardinals for a spell with the Twins here. Tying run. Here is Stevie Ray Braun. 1/7's a K. And with 2 outs, it's John Knox. So he will leave. He can't hit lefties. Batting for John Knox, you've got your choice of Maxwell, Retman, and Plummer. Plummer offers the most home run punch against lefties, but the minute you bring him in, they'll just go Eddie Watt. So we might see him anyway, but we're going to go Merv Retman. And with 2 outs in the 9th inning, the Rockies will go to Eddie Watt with just 1 out to get. Another Baltimore matchup. We've seen Crowley, Etchebarren. Now you got Merv Retman for one team and Eddie Watt for the other. Let's take a look at the pinch hitter first. Merv Retman, the pinch hitter. You see, he's very balanced, very symmetrical. He had 2 marvelous years with Baltimore in 70 and 71, hitting .318 each year. Now he's come down to earth. He's just a .262 hitter, but he offers power, good defense, decent throwing arm, a lot of walks. Nice year for Merv Retman in 73 with Baltimore. And Eddie Watt is coming out of the bullpen for Colorado. He actually, he was with Baltimore in 72, a .215 ERA in 46 innings, probably underused. The second best ERA on that brilliant 72 Baltimore pitching staff. The wasted pitching staff, one of the better pitching staffs ever assembled for a team that won only 80 games. They were like 80 and 74 because their offense was putrid. 72 Baltimore's pitching was better than 69, 70, or 71 Baltimore pitching when they went to the World Series in those years. Something a lot of people don't realize. So Eddie Watt here in the 9th will face Merv Retman. Tie run. Stanley will just stay over at first. Here's the pitch to Merv Retman. 1-6 is ball 4. That's what they wanted to do. Get the tie run on the bases. To bring up this guy, Hal Breeden. Let's take a look at Hal. He probably could have gone to the All-Star game. Very productive year with on base and power. Not good defensively. A .414 first baseman. We'll ignore that. We got a triple roll on 3-7 that would tie the game, by the way. Plenty of home runs. He was an Expo in 73 with a .275 average, 15 home runs. The Expos don't really need him because remember they had Ron Fairley, they had Bob Bailey, You have Mike Jorgensen showing up in 74. So Breeden was expendable for the Expos. Big moment here in the National League Mountain Division. At least the 4 teams in this division are all watching, even Las Vegas. The rest of baseball could care less. But at least in the mountain, in the Rocky Mountains and in the desert of the Nevada, Utah, all the TV sets are tuned in. Here is the pitch to Hal Breeden. 1-7, just misses and strikes out to end the game. Oh my goodness. Eddie Watt gets the final out after a walk, and Colorado wins the game. Arizona still winning the series 3-2, and both teams are kind of happy because they're going to keep on advancing. It's great news, particularly for the 2 teams that actually do exist, at least in the 1990s, that we tried to provide the best rosters in this division versus the Las Vegas and Portland truly fictional teams. And they both will advance in this round. So let's do a box, and then we'll set you up for a game 6 and 7 if necessary, back in Colorado. Bruce Del Canton. So he goes 9 innings, 11 hits, 7 runs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But you know what? They get a reset on their bullpen and only have to win 1 more game. So sometimes you win when you lose, and that's the case of Arizona here. They had no ambitions of really wanting to eliminate Colorado. They could care less about Colorado. They just want to win the series. Eddie Watt gets the save, a walk and a strikeout. Jim Merritt came on in the 9th. He got a strikeout. And then a hit in the K in the 9th was off of Dick Drago. So Drago does get the win. Gave up 13 hits and 5 runs. Stuck around as a starter 8. No walks. He didn't walk anybody. Struck out 4. 1019, 0109. 711, 513. 711, 513. 711, 513. It's 5716, 1657. That's game number 5. We'll take this right through. Series isn't over, but we'll take you right through. I want to look at the stats, the standings, maybe even look up Steve Braun's lifetime batting average, if I can remember to do that while I'm doing this. Arizona will be a game ahead of Colorado at this moment, and we will illustrate Portland's unfortunate plight. So there it is. Arizona 17-16, Colorado 15-16 in game back. Let's start with Colorado. They're hitting .261, which is actually a pretty darn good batting average for a team that just signed sluggers. 4.76 ERA is predictably bad, as you can imagine. There's probably a lot of unearned runs in there. They've scored 139 runs, given up 157, of which 13 are unearned runs. Pitching wise, Alfred Mars has got a winning record. Eddie Watt's 2-1 with 5 saves. He's been nice. A lot of power for this team. It's all spread around. You got 6 homers for Costco and 23 RBI. 5 homers for Kingman, 6 homers for Rick Monday, including the big game winner there. But yeah, it's not a long-term success plan for Colorado. They'll get bounced maybe in the next round or maybe still in this round. Arizona is hitting .272, which is, they're kind of probably disappointed. They want to hit .280, .290, but .272 is better than a lot of teams in this league. 4.07 ERA is not bad either. By the way, Dick Bainey and Darryl Knowles have combined for 9 saves, which is very good. Reggie Cleveland 6-3. Bruce Del Canton now has pitched 19 2/3 innings. So he had pitched 10 innings before the All-Star break, and then he just threw 9 innings today. Those 10 innings weren't very good because for the year, he's given up 16 earned runs. Ouch. But Arizona's not gonna complain. He's got a 731 earned run average. He gave up 7 runs in that game. That's a shame there. Home runs, Hal Breeden's got 8 and 33 RBI. But he struck out with the runners on base. That's a shame. 6 homers, 27 RBIs for Dave May. Having a nice year. 17-16, 15-16. Before we play a game 6, also the league is hitting .261 with a .386 ERA. So you see Arizona is a little bit above. Actually, both teams are above batting average, but the ERAs are worse as well. Let's take a look at the overall standings over here. We haven't sorted any of this yet. So there's Vegas. They are guaranteed to be in first place at the end of this round, as Arizona can only cut the lead to a game. The Rockies could cut it to a game and a half. But this is the scenario here. Portland is 3 under 500. The Rockies lose the next game, they'll be 2 under 500, better than Portland. If Arizona loses the next 2 games, they'd be a game under 500, also better than Portland. And that's why these guys are going home. You can also get rid of the tie-breaking formulas, because we don't need a tiebreaker anymore. As no tie will happen. There. We'll do a sort later. Oh, and lastly, I wanted to see if I could bring this up in a convenient form. You guys have to guess the lifetime batting average of Steve Braun and put it in the comments section. Close your eyes. Don't cheat. What do you think Steve Braun's lifetime batting average is? No, not Steve Braun. Mike Vail. That's the guy. Mike Vail's lifetime batting average is. That's the guy, yeah. So he's the guy I said he had the 300 years. So what is Mike Vail's lifetime batting average? I'm guessing it's 289. Let's go check it out. Lifetime batting average for Mike Vail, 279. I'm down by 10 points. It's probably because he played a lot in the 80s and it wasn't that good. Yeah, the 80s, he had like 500 at-bats, brought it down. But this is what I'm saying. He had a 302, 318, 333, 335, and a 298. All in the first 5 years. Steve Braun? Well, that could be anything. 273 is my lifetime batting average guess for Steve Braun. 273 is my guess. Let's see what we got here. For Braun, 271, off by 2 points. And he actually hit 196 in one of these years. Yeah, that year. Then he followed it up with 3 straight 274, 272, 276 seasons. That's hilarious. Fun stuff. Fun trivia. Chopping it up, talking baseball, having a great time here. We're going to pause the video now, and we'll give you the result of Game 6 and 7 if necessary, back in Colorado. So stick around. Well, baseball fans, here's the box score of Game 5. You just saw the thrilling victory of Colorado, 7-5, with a big homer in the 9th inning by Rick Monday in Game 5. Drago 8 1/3, 13 hits and 5 runs. Just a lot of pitches. Asked to pitch on 3 days rests, as is Ron Reed, that are not particularly effective pitchers in this league. Del Canton had himself a day. 9 innings, 11 hits, 7 runs, 5 walks, 7 strikeouts. But he went 9 innings, so it gave a reset to the bullpen as the series shifts to Colorado. Again, Arizona just needs one more win. They're up 3-2. Both teams will continue playing after the series is over, but we need to know who's going to be in second and who's going to be in third. We have effectively eliminated Portland, and we'll look at that at the end. So we have game number 6. It is Reggie Cleveland versus Ron Reed, who's really struggled this year, but not today. It's a good day for Ron Reed. It's a bad day for Arizona's defense. After an out in the second, ground ball Hal Breeden error. Ground ball Reggie Cleveland error. A couple singles and a sac fly, it's 2-zip. But then in the 6th inning, you get a solo homer, Hal Breeden. In the 7th inning, a solo homer, Mike Vail. It's 2-2. But suddenly, Reggie Cleveland implodes, as does reliever Gary Peters in the 7th. A walk, a Terry Crowley 2-run dinger, who's really stepped up with some big home runs. The Rockies are starting to hit homers with men on base. That's a dangerous combination. The problem is it's a streaky thing. Right now, the streaks are looking good. Double walk, 3-run homer, Rick Monday. Solo homer, Dave Kingman. It's a rout. It is 8-2. Series is tied 3 games apiece. Can Colorado ride the barrage of homers and walks to win this series in 7? Here is Game 7, Jim Willoughby versus Sam McDowell. First of all, Sam McDowell has reasonable control in this game, which is a good sign for Colorado. Early, though, Retman doubles, RBI single, Dave May. Arizona with a 1-0 lead. Bottom of the 2nd inning, bad defense again. Walk, a stolen base for Don Money, an error by the shortstop, Dale Maxwell, an E19 shortstop. It's a shame. It's 1-1. Arizona has the lead in the 6th. It's a home run by Dave May. But in the bottom of the inning, a single. And then Andy Costco's got 4 homers in the series. Again, Colorado Rocky home run. If you hit a home run, they're probably going to win the game. Or 2 or 3 home runs. If they don't have any home runs at all, they pretty much don't really have a chance. It's 3-2. In the 7th inning, we get a Jim Lytle homer. It is 4-2. But in the top of the 8th, Dave May with a solo shot. This is a 4-3 game. And Colorado, believe it or not, does some situational relief work. Sam McDowell goes 6 1/3, 5 hits, 2 runs, only 3 walks, and 8 strikeouts. That was the key for his longevity. They go righty, lefty, righty. Particularly Mike Corkins actually did a solid inning, 2/3 of an inning in the 7th, a third of an inning in the 8th. Strickland pitched 2/3 of the 8th. In the 9th inning, Strickland gives up home runs, but unfortunately, Arizona has, like I say, they don't hit them. Just the opposite of Colorado. They have Fred Stanley, Dale Maxwell, and Fred Stanley. No chance of hitting a homer. So Strickland, who gives up a lot of them, stays in the game. A strikeout and an out. Then you got Merv Retman again, who has power. And we do the same thing that we saw in Game 5, that I ended Game 5 with all of you. It's Eddie Watt coming out of the Colorado bullpen to face his old teammate from Baltimore, Merv Retman, in the top of the 9th inning of a Game 7 with a 1-run lead. This time, Merv Retman grounds out to second to end the series. The 3rd straight win for the Colorado Rockies, a 1-run affair. Very unique situation for Colorado with a nice little 3-game winning streak. For a team that needs everything to fall into place, and it did. 4-3 victory. They win the series 4-3 as well. Let's take a look at the tournament results. We're going to go over here to eliminations. Arizona, Colorado, a best of 7. Colorado wins 4-3. They advance with a 17-16 record. The eliminated team, we're going to put Portland over here. And I also made a note to myself that they actually played Las Vegas. Their record is 14-17 because these are all eliminated teams. So I want to keep my eliminated teams in one spot. Colorado didn't play Portland. I'm just putting them there. The combined records here are -2. Now, corresponding to that, Arizona, we're going to plug them in here as the team that falls in the 3rd place. Vegas at a 1, Colorado at a 2nd, Arizona at a 3rd with a record of 17-18. Portland was eliminated. And then when we look at the overall standings, here it is. You'll see it. At the end of this round, you can't be in last place. They are. No 4th place teams can go to the playoffs. So they are done as Portland. Also, the 3rd place team will travel against the 2nd place team in this division. It's probably going to be the Pirates, unless the Reds have a problem. Cubs are in first. Reds can't catch them, but they could fall behind the Pirates. Reds or Pirates for Arizona. The Rockies will get the other team. It seems like these two teams are layups to be knocked out by the best teams in this division, the Pirates and the Reds. Vegas holds on. Interesting. Vegas holds on to first place in this round, which makes an intriguing matchup against the Cubs. Two teams not given much chance are actually in first place. They'll play each other. And when they do, neither will be eliminated. You don't get eliminated if you're a first place team. The second and third place teams can. And when you look at the record of the Pirates, if they finish there's a reasonable chance that the Rockies or Arizona, if they get hot, we just saw Colorado win 3 straight, they could theoretically knock the Pirates or Reds out, though. It's, shouldn't happen, but, anything can happen in this league. So that's it tonight. Break up the Colorado Rockies. They're down 3-1 facing elimination. They rip off 3 straight wins to finish in second place, just a game and a half behind the first place Vegas team. They can still win the division. It's still possible in the second and third rounds of the tournament. Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you next time.